Is this thing on? I don't know how to film anymore. Hey everyone, I am back. Feels really weird. When you have gone a really long time without filming videos, it kind of feels like you're talking to yourself again. And it feels kind of strange. I think in the last 6 months, I've maybe filmed 2 videos, maybe? 2021 was a year. It definitely was a year that existed in the world. And what didn't really exist was a lot of writing content from me. And yeah, and I knew that I wanted to come back and make some videos, but I was like, where do I start? Where do I begin? You know, and I saw that everyone has been posting, although I'm a little late on that trend already, that everyone's been posting, like reflecting on their goals from 2021, projecting what their future goals were. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Let me go back. Let me look at what my goals were for 2021. And then I realized, nah, girl, you don't want to do that. You're just going to embarrass yourself. You're not going to feel very good about yourself. So I'm not going to look back. We only look forward here on this channel. There's no looking back, okay? Because I can tell you without looking back that I failed. I mean, if you've been following this channel for a while, this is nothing new. I'm pretty much a failure in all ways when it comes to writing. Probably a lot more things in life than that, but we're just focusing on the writing for this video. And that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today, is kind of setting goals, not meeting them. What then does it mean for 2022? Also, why didn't I meet my goals? Why haven't I been making videos? There's just a lot to discuss, So I'm finally here. I'm finally ready to put myself back out there and I don't know, I guess just exercise my writing demons, okay? So get yourself ready because we have a lot to talk about. And don't forget, if you're happy to see this face back on AuthorTube, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed and you're wondering, who the heck is this girl? Trust me, it'll be worth it. Hit that subscribe button. I promise I'm going to be making more content in 2022. All right, so where do we begin? Do we talk about my failures or the future? As much as I want to stay forward thinking, we got to kind of talk about 2021, right? It's the big fat elephant in the room. I paused because there's a joke there, but I'm just going to leave it. So, where was I? Why did I stop making videos? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm tapping because I'm nervous about that question. You know, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. And it's like one of those things where you take time off and then time begets time. Okay, let's just stop beating around the bush. Let's just be honest. I choked on my writing, on my filming, on my life. I just needed a break. And writing was not going how I wanted it to go. And I really felt like I was kind of stuck in my writing, and I felt like every video I was saying the same things over and over again, like, oh, gotta start over, or oh, want to get this goal, didn't make it. Like, it just felt like it was getting stale. I felt like it was getting stale for me. I know it has to be stale for you. I didn't feel like I had anything to share or bring to the table. And I really just needed some time to myself because I had a lot of goals for 2021. I wanted to be ready to query by the end of the year. And I was really putting a lot of pressure on myself to do that. And I'm just gonna be really honest with you guys. I never finished the first draft. I did not finish the first draft. I did continue to work on my book here and there. But really what 2021 was, really what my journey has been here on AuthorTube is it's been a life journey, a learning journey. And that's really what you're seeing. And I don't know if I'm just slower than everybody else, or maybe everyone entered AuthorTube when they were farther in their phase, and maybe I started too early, but it was like my first year on AuthorTube was like a lot of learning, you know, a year or so was a lot of like learning about writing objectively. And I feel like this last year was a lot more like learning about myself. And even though I didn't finish in a whole year a draft of my book, I did learn some things. So I want to share those things that I learned with you. And they kind of explain why I didn't finish a full draft in the whole year of 2021. So the first reason is I don't know how to plot. I just don't. It's like the hardest part for me. Okay, like not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I have really great ideas. I think I come up with really great details. I think I have great like decision making on like setting and character development and theme and just like really cute details that I'm like gonna love for someone to read someday. But the plot, I don't know her, you know? We're just now getting acquainted. And I was really like expecting myself to just sit down in one session and figure out how to plot. And you can give me all the formulas and ways of doing things. And I thought that's all I needed, but not this brain. This brain needs more work at plot. And part of it I know is my own fault. Like I do, you know, struggle with some mental illness and neurodivergency. And so I've always been a little bit behind on things. I've always worked in my own ways. And so I understand that about myself, and I learned that even more this last year. But you know, I also have a lot of other interests, a lot of hobbies, a lot of things. And I just, yeah, it just wasn't coming easily to me. So yeah, that's the first reason I didn't finish. I suck at plotting and I'm still trying to figure it out. And every time I thought I had it figured out, I just kept coming up with more problems. And I know some people like to figure those things out while they're writing, but not me, not this brain. I needed to get it figured out. So I feel like I'm spending, maybe all this time I'm spending on like fixing and figuring things out will mean less time on actual draft revisions. Like some people do like 7, 8, 9, and maybe they're doing the same thing that I'm doing in a different way. I like to tell myself that. I like to think that so that I don't think I'm just, you know, the worst. But that's just the truth. I've really been struggling with plot and how to plot and really taking what I've learned and like applying it to my idea. It doesn't help that I came up with the concept prior to knowing what plot was, and I've really struggled with like how to fix what I have and what I've conceptualized into that idea. I've also realized that world building is very hard. It's very hard. And see, prior to shifting to horror, I wrote contemporary. So a lot of the world building was kind of already there. But when you shift to horror, I wouldn't say it's the same as fantasy, but you essentially do create a magic system. Things have to make sense in the world. There has to be a history and explanations, and horror especially, there's like a thin line between explaining a little bit but not too much, and having that unexplained but it has to make logical sense in the world that I've created. And that was just proving to be a lot more time consuming and difficult than I thought. So that was the second reason I didn't finish a full draft. The third reason is I realized that a lot of the ideas I had were really cliche and trite. And I wasn't really doing anything interesting enough or different enough. And it's something I'm still working on. And I think that's because I'm so early in my writing journey. And we all know this, your first book, your first idea, it's all the classics with none of the nuance, you know? And as I was working on it, on my draft and the outline, I just kept seeing like, oh, but this has been done. How can I make this different? How can I make this interesting? So I've been trying to read more and think more and brainstorm more. And I've been doing a lot of that, but and I know that a lot of people are like, oh, like it doesn't have to be reinventing the wheel. And I understand that, but it does have to be something that I'm proud of and that I feel is up to my standards. And I just don't think my ideas are there yet. So I've just been trying out different scenarios and different ideas to try to get there. And even though I'm not necessarily trying to become a full-time writer or make writing my career, I am trying to become a career writer. Like I am trying to be traditionally published, and this is not just for fun or a hobby or to just, you know, anything like that. So I do have to take it a little seriously. So I don't, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's hard. And then the last thing I realized, and this was kind of like a moment for me, is my theme in my book. There's a couple of things I want my main character to learn, but the main sort of overarching theme that it all kind of falls under, I realized is something that I needed to learn at a young age, and I don't know that I've actually learned it yet. It's like one of those things that I tell myself I have, but I don't know that I actually have. And it's hard to write a book to tell someone how to come to this realization that I'm still struggling with a little bit myself. But it's something that's important, and I think that maybe through writing this, I'll learn to believe it myself. But that's made it a little hard emotionally to write. It hits some chords, you know? So yeah, those are the reasons that I think I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time with plotting and world building and making it all make sense and being satisfied with the ideas that I have. And so, you know, I was really upset with myself for a while about that, because I'm just so far behind where I want to be in my writing journey, in my writing career, you know, and there's so much pressure. I mean, so many of you, and you know, with peace and love, I understand, you know, the feeling, but it's like so many people are like, I want to do this before I'm 30, or this is not where I wanted to be by the time I was 30. And there's just like so much emphasis on this, like being 30 and accomplishing things by 30, and that somehow means you've made it or whatever. And I really feel like I was internalizing the fact that I'm 38, and I'm just now on this journey. I think I've only been really taking my writing seriously, like actually seriously, since 2018, like the end of 2018, like November of 2018 is when I finally said, okay, enough is enough, you know? And so it's not been that long, honestly. And I just kept feeling like I needed to speed up the process to get it done, because we all know traditional publishing is notoriously slow, and it might take me 2, 3, 4, 5 books before I get an agent. And I just kept thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to be so old. And it's like, you know, it was a lot of pressure. And then that pressure made me inert, you know, like it was so much pressure for everything to be perfect, for everything to make sense, for everything to be like the most interesting, intricate thing I could have come up with. And it was just like, I felt like my head was gonna explode. And it was like making me kind of ill. And I love AuthorTube. I do. I mean, it's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've made some of the best friends I've ever had. I'm so grateful for this platform. I love it. I love connecting with you guys. But for a while in 2021, I was really questioning whether or not AuthorTube was really serving me in the best way. Because I was feeling a lot of shame and a lot of pressure and a lot of comparison, and I was kind of using other people's ways of doing things and trying to make myself follow that, and it was really leading me to a lot of disappointment and a lot of self-hatred, which is honestly something I struggle with anyway. And it was really adding to it, and I really needed to think for a long time if it was something that I thought was healthy for me anymore. And this has nothing to do with anybody else. This is me and my issues and how I interpret things and how I internalize things. And, you know, I thought on it for a while. I thought about all the things that I've gotten out of AuthorTube, all of the friends and the joy and all the pros that come with it. I truly love making content. Like I have so many ideas and so many projects I want to do, and it's just so fun for me to like put myself out there and connect with people and create something that doesn't have that much pressure on it. Like I don't care. Like look at this hair. You think I care about like it being perfect like I do my writing? No, I don't. And so it's nice to have that. But then, you know, there was all the cons that it was really making me I don't know, it just wasn't, it wasn't a good place for me. And so I thought on it for a long time, and I finally realized, I really came to the conclusion that I do want to be here, because I think that making these videos is important, honestly. And no, it's not important because, you know, I'm imparting any sort of like wisdom or necessary information that someone needs in their life, you know, to make something tangibly happen. But I felt like my channel and my videos are important to me. I think that putting myself in these situations has really caused me to do a lot of self-reflection and introspection, and to really work on things about myself and understanding myself and really learning to like myself more, which is something I don't really do, you know? I'm just gonna be honest. I most times I don't like myself very much. And I'm, you know, very disappointed in myself a lot. And I think that while I was thinking that this was a thing that was causing me to make that more, it was also opening up an opportunity for me to examine that and push past it and learn and grow. But I also realize, and I hope this doesn't sound like conceited or self-inflated or anything, but I think my channel is important for other people too. I think it's important that everyone we see isn't on the same journey or having the same experiences. I struggle all the time. Like I said, I'm kind of a failure at this point in my writing career, and that may turn around and it may not. And I don't know, like, I want to show perseverance. I want to show honesty. And I'm not trying to say that other people are dishonest, but I think that a lot of people who have the struggles that I do, who aren't performing at the level that others are or that they wish they were, we tend to slink away and hide, and then all you see are people who are absolutely killing it. And I want to show people that they're not alone, that if it's taking you a year to write a first draft, you're not alone. If you can't make your plot make sense, you're not alone. If you have to take 2 or 3 years to figure out how to actually write a book, you're not alone. And I just want to keep putting this out there, and I want to keep connecting with people and sharing this journey and these highs and lows with others. Because I think that's what, I don't know, you know, like I'm trying not to sound too cheesy, but it's just like, I think that that's what I need. And I think that there might be other people who need that too. So I don't want to slink away. I don't want to hide in shame. I want to be successful, but I want to really be realistic about myself and what it takes. And I want to be realistic to other people about what it could take for you. And so, yeah, so I'm not leaving. I'm not going away. There might be times where I'm not posting as regularly because I feel like if I'm not making progress, or if I don't have things to show or talk about, then maybe I won't make videos. But I don't ever want you to think I'm disappearing, because you stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere. But I am gonna try my best to not let myself give up, because this is something I do a lot. I tend to, in my life, stick with the things that come easily, and the things that are too difficult, I just give up. And I never want to give up on writing, but I also don't want to give up on sharing my story and my experience either. So I'm still here. I'm still struggling, but I'm ready to look at 2022 differently. So that brings me to my 2022 writing goals, because I have a very tumultuous relationship with goals, because what I can realistically achieve and what I want to achieve are diametrically opposed in every single way possible. And so I think it's important to have something to move towards, but date goals, number goals, for now, until I really get into my writing skin, I don't think is gonna work for me. So my goal for 2022, my main focus is just finishing a draft of Beware of Monsters. That's it. I just want to finish a dang draft of it. That's it. And if it happens early, cool. Then I'll come up with the next goal. You know, I'm kind of doing the same thing with my weight loss. It's like, I can't keep looking at the really long picture. It's too overwhelming for me. I'm just doing small goals, and I don't even care what the next goal is going to be. Let me get this goal first, and then when I get it, I'll worry about the next goal. And I'm not putting a date on it. Every day I'm just thinking, what can I do today to get me closer to that goal? And that's all I'm gonna do for that. But I do have some other goals that I really wanna focus on that are writing related. And the first thing is I wanna stop being so hard on myself with my writing and stop trying to fit my writing into such rigid guidelines. Those guidelines are there to help, and I've really used them to like choke me, you know? And I need to like let it loose and just realize that like I can move within these. And I keep thinking to myself like, yeah, you can, but like it won't be as good as if you fit it into this. And I gotta let that go. I gotta let it go, man. It's like it's really stifling me to try to make everything perfectly fit into these little boxes. I just don't think my brain works that way. It just doesn't. And so I want to let that go. That's one of my goals. And I also want to stop stressing about my writing timeline. If this book doesn't get done till 2025, then it doesn't. And if I don't publish till 2028, then that's fine. If I die before I ever publish the book, then that's it. The universe is going to make whatever it wants to happen, happen. All I can do is every day do my best to contribute towards the things that are important to me. And you know, what else is there? Like, I can't do anything else. I'm just stressing too much, and it's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. And that goes with stop comparing myself to other people. So what if this person has 4 book deals, or this person did it before they were 30 or whatever? It's like, I have accomplished so much in my life, and I'm always so focused on the things that I haven't, the things that someone has that I don't. And I really took a lot of inventory this last year on like just how amazing my life actually has been. It's not perfect in every way, but there are some things that I am just so proud of and so happy about. And I need to focus more on that and just remember that everything is happening how it should and when it should. Because they say everything always happens on time. And so another thing I want to do this year to kind of help with my writing is to learn more about the publishing industry. I want to pay closer attention to publishers, agents, editors, people that are doing the things that I'm doing, meeting more writers, connecting with more people, getting more involved. That I really want to do to really enmesh myself. What is the word? Is it enmesh? Yes. I want to put myself more out there, okay, is what I'm trying to say. Because I think that that is just as important as everything else. And I want to really immerse myself more into the kinds of things that I want to write. I want to read more adult horror. I want to read more thrillers and more mysteries. I want to watch more horror movies. I want to just learn it all and take it all in as part of my journey. And really, ultimately, my biggest goal is to accept my struggles and my limitations and to acknowledge that I am new on this journey and I will get better. All right, guys. Well, I think that is all the rambling you could probably handle in this video. I am so glad to be back. I am so glad that you have taken your time to hear me out, to see this face again. And I hope that you will continue on this journey with me and just know that your girl is messy. She is messy. She is flawed, okay? And who knows when I'll ever accomplish anything. But just know that I'm always trying and I'm always learning and I'm always oversharing. So like I said before, if you enjoyed seeing me back here on your screen, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed and you want to continue to see this messy girl, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!